Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we're playing Wizard Choice. I like this game. I know it doesn't have any animation, but, I'm picturing what's happening. To that, I would play other games, but, yeah, I can't find games that go for vision impaired. It's not secret. Okay, so, I should probably turn up.
The castle is quiet and dark. You walk into a wide hallway that branches in two directions. One direction is covered in a thick layer of dust, while the other is covered in footprints. You decide that it would be wise to get a lay of the land before looking for any trouble. Despite the faint smell of rotting flesh from the dusty hall, you decide it would be wise to go this way first. Less monsters, more treasure. Or at least, you hope. You have kept your lantern hooded, only allowing slivers of light out. After all, you want to remain stealthy. The way is dim, however, and you find yourself tripping over rubble and the odd piece of furniture. There might be something far worse ahead of you to run into. Too bad you cannot see in the dark like a goblin. Do you? 1. Keep the lantern hooded. 2. Unhood the lantern.
I don't want to run into trouble.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Please press a button or swipe to make your choice.
I don't want to lose my health. I'm gonna go with, I feel like 2 might be okay, but 1, this is hard. I know I can't see as well, but better safe than sorry.
You take it slow in the dark. Still, you stumble a few times, but at least you are not shining like a lighthouse to all your enemies. Soon the cobwebs thicken, and thicken, and... What is this? You find yourself stuck to one particularly thick strand of web. You take the hood off your lantern to better appraise the situation. Something heavy lands on your shoulder. Spider! Reginald yelps. His sword is out and swings it down hard on top of you.
No.
Oh! You lost 2 life.
Dang it!
You have 6 life.
No.
Presently, your back is covered with greenish oozing spider blood. The monstrously large spider is black with long matted fur. It now lies motionless on the floor. Reginald unhoods his lantern and plays the light on the ceiling above. There are no more spiders, just thick webs dotted with small silky cocoons that you suspect might encase rats or other small prey. Now that the immediate crisis is over, you notice you are in pain. Reginald, who has never been a lover of spiders, cut your shoulder in his zeal to kill the thing. You do not hold it against him. He meant well, and it is far better to get a gouge from a sword than an injection of venom from something like that. Reginald does his best to bandage you up, and then you proceed down the hall. Your lanterns are no longer hooded, however. You want to get a better look around, and you pay particular attention to the ceiling. Eventually, the two of you make your way to a spiral staircase going up. The upper regions of foul places like this are safer than the lower levels, says Reginald. Why in the name of all the gods would that be, you say? Reginald shrugs. Do not ask me what is in the mind of fiends and evil-hearted beasts. Perhaps they prefer the darkness and stagnant air below ground. You look up at the stairway and sigh. Well, perhaps we can get a view of the courtyard from up there. Yeah. I would like to know just how far the goblins lurk out there. Reginald leads the way up the stairs, which lead into a small tower. Moonlight filters in through the cracks between and around 2 shuttered windows. This room is finely furnished, and otherwise much more nicely kept than the rest of the castle you have visited so far. There is a small bed, still made, on one end, an ornate table and a bookshelf. On the table is an open fairy tale book and a gold-embossed hand mirror. Seeing loot, you forget about the windows and the potential view of the courtyard. You pick up the mirror and inspect it. Gazing at your reflection, you decide you look pretty good, all things considered. You brush cobwebs from your wavy brown hair. You smile. You are happy to see that your teeth are looking particularly good. Of course, you deserve nice teeth, since unlike most people you know, you take care of them. Every morning you wipe your teeth with a cloth dipped into a cleaning concoction consisting of vinegar, salt, a little sand, and a small measure of your own urine. You are about to pull yourself away from the mirror and put it in your backpack when you glimpse a translucent skull with thin, wispy hair just behind you in the reflection. You spin around and see not a skull, but a young girl floating a few feet in the air, her pale face fixed on you.
Is she a ghost?
Reginald sees her too, as evidenced by him running down the stairway. "How dare you touch what is mine?" the ghostly girl shouts.
I knew
You
it.
back up and reflexively put the mirror back on the table. You have heard tales of powerful ghosts that can suck the life right out of you, and wonder if this girl is one of those. What do you do?
Oh no.
1. Run for the stairs. 2. Protection from evil spell. Requires 2 mana. 3. Apologize. You have 10 mana.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
I apologize, my lady, you say. It is only that this is such a fine mirror, and I wished to admire it. She glares at you for a moment, and then the hard expression on her translucent face softens.
No, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It needs to hang up. Hang up. I didn't pause. Oh crap. I'm sorry.
She glares at you for a moment, and then the hard expression on her translucent face softens. I am the Duchess Inverness. My father, the Duke, gave me that as a gift. You have heard stories of Duke Inverness and the mysterious circumstances around the demise of his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Despite your fear, you feel a pang of sadness for his daughter, who now shimmers before you, trapped in this world. And these books, why, they look like excellent stories in here, you stammer. Read that one to me, the girl commands. Of course, my lady, you answer. Luckily for you, as a wizard, you know how to read. You pick up the book of fairy tales from the desk and begin on the first page. She stops you and demands that you read her the story about the unicorn. With trembling hands, you page through the book. Eventually, you find this story and begin reading. The ghost floats up behind you as though to peer down at the pictures. You feel a slight chill on your shoulder. Sometime later, you look up from her book and see Reginald peeking around the corner of the stairway at you. You shake your head slightly at him and then return your attention to the book. In the story, the unicorn taps her hoof against a wall in a castle, and a secret passage opens up. As you read this, the little ghost girl smiles and says, "There is a secret passage in this castle as well. It is a foul place, a place where people are taken, never to return." Where is this secret passage you speak of? You ask. In my father's library, there is a statue. Push the arm of the statue down, she explains. You are intrigued by this and wish to ask her more, but she points at the book impatiently, and so you get back to it. Upon finishing the story, the girl demands you read her another. You wonder how long she might keep this up. Time means nothing to her, after all. You would like to get back to Reginald, and what about the merchants? Rescuing a merchant might mean a fine reward. And there is Siva herself, of course. You would like to find her before something else does. What do you do? 1. Read another story. 2. Attempt to excuse yourself. 3. Run for the stairs. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Please press a button or swipe to make your choice.
Okay, what's my choice gonna be? I say read.
You do as the ghost says and read another story. You do not pay attention to the fairy tale as you are increasingly distracted by the chill just over your shoulder. When you finish, the ghost demands yet another story be read.
Oh, crap.
Your morale goes down a point.
Dang it.
Am I so craven that I will continue to read to this dead girl while the living need me? I will read no more unicorn stories tonight, you decide.
Wrong choice.
What do you do? 1. Attempt to excuse yourself. 2. Run for the stairs. Beautiful and gracious Duchess, might I ask your full name, you ask?
Gabriella, Duchess Gabriella of Inverness,
she answers. My lady, you bow. I beg your pardon, but there is a young woman in the castle below who requires my assistance. There are evil men. I suspect they may threaten her life.
A maiden in distress? Why do you dally here then? Begone!
Oh, dang.
You need no further encouragement. You step lightly toward the door.
Wait!
Her voice chills you now, but you unwillingly turn back.
Take this,
she says, and the gold-trimmed mirror floats off of the table over to you.
I cannot see myself in it anymore,
she says softly. You earned 50 gold pieces.
Yes.
Generosity befitting a duchess, I thank you most humbly. You bow low and then leave. You find Reginald around the corner of the stairs, his sword at the ready. He begins asking you questions, but you put up your hand. Another time, you say. The two of you continue through the castle. Occasionally you hear distant things. A shout, a crash, even voices. Soon you come to a door with light streaming out through its cracks. You open it ever so slightly and peek in. You see a cloaked figure frantically pacing back and forth. You cannot see his face, but his hands appear to be human. You catch glimpses of his naked torso under the cloak. It is black with tattoos, and you think you make out at least one of the tattoos to be the symbol of Nerul, god of the undead. This reminds you of the tattooed body of a man hung in the city square only a month ago. He was believed to be an evil priest of Nerul, and was accused of terrible crimes, including raising zombies. Such priests are able to harvest power from their deities and cast dangerous spells. However, you have the element of surprise. What do you do? 1. Attack with spells. Requires 2 mana. 2. Attack without spells. 3. Cast charm spell on him. Requires 3 mana. 4. Spy for a bit. You have 10 mana.
I say, 4.
Where is he? How could she escape?
The man mutters to himself.
The sacrifice must appease him,
he whispers. He then starts toward the door you have cracked open. Quickly you move away out of sight and listen for a few seconds. You hear nothing, not even footsteps. What do you do? 1. Attack with spells. Requires 2 mana. 2. Attack without spells. 3. Wait. You have 10 mana.
Oh God. I hope me.
You decide to wait a few more seconds. After all, the last time you saw him, he was heading toward this door. What a great ambush! Suddenly, the door opens and the man is there, his finger pointed towards you. There is a crackle and a black bolt of energy slices into you. Evidently, he saw you after all. Oh! You lost 4 life. You have 2 life.
No.
Reginald charges in. The priest ducks back as Reginald swings
gonna
his sword,
kill
but not
everything.
fast enough. The blade slashes his shoulder. He tries to run, chanting something that you recognize as the beginning of a spell. He never finishes it. Reginald cuts him down with one great cleave. Now that you are in the room, you can see that you are in living quarters. There is a bed near the wall and a good-sized chest in the corner. Treasure, you think, as you run over and try to lift the lid. Locked. That Nerulian priest did not die quietly, so perhaps you should have Reginald smash the lid with his sword and then get out of here. On the other hand, there ought to be a key around somewhere. Maybe you should take a few seconds to check. What do you do? 1. Break the chest. 2. Search around a bit.
2.
You stand guard while I search, you say to Reginald. You kick the body of the priest over. The corpse is a bloody mess, but you do not have the time to be dainty about it. The man is nude other than the cloak and a golden amulet around his neck. The amulet is an unholy symbol of Nerul, the god of the undead. You would never keep such an evil thing, but it is coated in gold, so you could have it melted down. You rummage through his sticky cloak. Sure enough, you find a key. You earned 40 gold pieces.
Yes.
You trot over to the chest, key in hand. The key has the same hue of metal as the lock, and you are optimistic that it will fit. You are fumbling with the key when you hear something off in the distance. A chill goes down your spine. Are more coming? Did they hear the priest cry out? What do you do? 1. Search the chest for traps. 2. Use the key now.
1.
You take time to look over the chest carefully. There are no obvious traps. You carefully insert the key into the lock. It is a fit! You close your eyes as you turn the key. The top of the chest pops open as though on a spring, and nothing happens. You exhale in relief. Inside is a bag full of gold pieces, some platinum engraved china, and a small black-bound writing book. You earned 80 gold pieces.
Yes.
Then there is a low rumble of footsteps as you look up just as 2 priests burst into the room. Unholy one, give me strength, one of the priests shouts. With these words, a dark shade appears around his hand and then shoots out, striking Reginald, who flies back against the wall. The other priest grins at you. A dark ray springs from his outstretched finger, striking you in the shoulder. Cold pain spreads through you. Oh! You lost 2 life.
No.
You have no life left.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, you have died. I will return you to just before your last choice, so you can keep playing.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you kindly.
What do you do? 1. Search the chest for traps. 2. Use the key now.
Yep. 2.
What kind of booby trap is going to spring on someone with the proper key? You think to yourself. You carefully insert the key into the lock. It is a fit. You close your eyes as you turn the key. The top of the chest pops open as though on a spring, and nothing happens. You exhale in relief. Inside is a bag of gold pieces, some platinum engraved china, and a small black-bound writing book. You earned 80 gold pieces.
Yes.
You gather up your loot and hurry out of the room. The two of you have only taken a few steps into the dark hallway when you see flickering light up ahead. You could run back into the room and hide, prepare a firebolt to cast down the hall, or cast an illusion to try to distract whoever is coming.
We know that
1.
the priest...
Hide back in the room.
No.
2. Prepare a spell. Requires 2 mana. 3. Cast an illusion. Requires 2 mana. You have 10 mana.
I say 3?
An interesting choice. You wave your hands and infuse yourself with magical energy. Now you must prepare in your mind the illusion. In order to project a convincing illusion, it is best to pick something you have seen before. But you are tempted to pick something fearsome in order to scare them. What will the illusion be of? 1. A horde of goblins. 2. A dragon.
Ooh. A dragon, yeah.
You cast the spell, and a large, snarling red dragon, as best you can imagine, fills the hallway. Reginald knows your spells and runs down the hall with the dragon, sword drawn. Around the corner appears 2 cloaked men, priests, you suppose. They freeze for a moment, completely taken by surprise, and then seem to disregard the illusion. They chant and hurl bolts of dark energy at Reginald, who is now hard-pressed. You cannot use combat spells for fear of hitting your friend. So you run down the hall, dagger in hand. A dark bolt strikes your abdomen, and you double up in pain. Oh! You lost 3 life.
No.
You have no life left.
Oh, shoot.
Unfortunately, you have died. I will return you to just before your last choice, so you can keep playing.
Thank you.
An interesting choice. You wave your hands and infuse yourself with magical energy. Now you must prepare in your mind the illusion. In order to project a convincing illusion, it is best to pick something you have seen before. But you are tempted to pick something fearsome in order to scare them. What will the illusion be of? 1. A horde of goblins.
Yep, come on.
You cast the spell, and a horde of illusionary goblins armed with spears materialize, running down the hall, yipping and snarling. Reginald has worked with your illusions before. He knows what to do. He runs down the hall at a pace just behind your goblins, sword drawn. Around the corner appears 2 cloaked men, priests of Nerul, you suppose. They freeze for a moment, completely taken by surprise, and then begin hurling bolts of darkness at the goblins in front of the charge. The bolts go through the illusions, and you can see in their torchlight that the priests are furious at being tricked. Too late for them. Reginald closes on them with his sword and cuts them both down. You take the time to search the bodies and find golden unholy symbol medallions on each of them, as well as 1 silver dagger. Not bad for 20 seconds of work. You earned 60 gold pieces.
Yeah.
I tire of looting corpses. Let us be off to find the merchants and a glorious reward, you exclaim. Off you go deeper into the castle. Soon you find yourself in a library. However, all the books are gone from the tall wooden shelves, either stolen or destroyed. As a wizard, this is disappointing to you. All castle libraries have secret doors, you announce. After searching for a little while, you notice a small statue of a winged boy reading a book, worked into the stone wall. You press on the arm of the statue, and it shifts down. There is a grinding sound, and you see the bookshelf nearby crack open from the wall. You wedge your fingers into the gap and pry open the door. Immediately before you, stairs descending into the darkness.
Isn't this
Dear
what
listener,
the ghost
normally I
said?
would give you a choice whether or not you go down the stairs, but really, who finds a secret door and chooses not to investigate?
Me?
And so, with lantern in hand, you descend a few steps.
Sing it!
Listen.
I didn't get
It
the
is deadly
choice.
quiet down here.
If we
and chilling.
chose heck
You urge Reginald to take the
to
lead.
no.
After all, he is wearing the armor. There is a small metal lever on the inside of the passage that you suppose is what you use to open the door from the inside. Nevertheless, you decide to leave the door open. The last thing you need is to get trapped in this evil-smelling place. It is some time before you finally reach a small, empty chamber. On the far wall is a large iron door. Scrawled over the door in rusty red dye, or more likely, dried blood, is a set of elaborate symbols. "Gods, what is that?" says Reginald, playing the lantern light over the symbols. "It is writing in the infernal tongue," you say, "a language of devils, demons, and other beasts that inhabit the nightmare universes."
Ooh.
"At times, I do not envy your knowledge," says Reginald with a faint shudder. "The study of magic leads to many dark places," you say. "The trick is to not wander too far into the void." "What does it say?" asks Reginald in a tone that is not at all enthusiastic or curious. You study the symbols. They are crudely drawn, as though in haste, perhaps scrawled by bloody fingers. I cannot be sure. I believe it is a ward of some sort, a protection spell. "A protective spell using such a foul language?" Reginald sniffs. "I would expect a curse or a fiendish summoning." "It is protection against such a summoning. A barrier, you say. Evil knows evil best, and a spellcaster of black magic understands the need to protect himself from the terrors they bring into this world." Reginald grimaces and points the tip of his sword at the warded door. "Only a fool would go down there. Although I am more a man of curiosity than wisdom." You slap his shoulder, making a dull sound against his breastplate, as you have proven time and again. What do you want to do? 1. Open the door. 2. Leave. Maybe there is a treasure room beyond, you joke. "Fortune and glory, my friend," Reginald says with a broad smile.
Look at this.
Your morale goes up a point.
Yes!
The large iron door shudders and screeches
Is that
as Reginald
what
slowly
morale
pries it
does?
open.
But
Once open, Reginald scrunches his face up like a dried fruit, and you
But
soon
when
realize
it
why.
goes up-
A powerful stench wafts up from the dark stairs below. He takes a deep breath and plunges down the stairway. The two of you descend for some time before you enter into a large room, eerily illuminated by green flaming torches fastened to each of the walls. Near the far wall is a dais leading up to a large obsidian altar.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna end it there for now. Do you guys like this story? I like it. It's good. Even though it has no animations, I'm picturing in depth what's going on in my head. Are you guys doing that? If you're not, you should. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry for that phone call. I meant to try to pause, but I couldn't find. I was pressing the button, but the button wouldn't click. And then, yeah. And then I paused because something happened. So yeah. I love the feature of pause and play. App is good. Okay. But anyways. No, not why I said that. Anyways, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys whenever. God bless and goodbye.